This video is brought to you by ncix.com. Great technology, selection, and service.
Wow. This has been a full year coming. So the categories are. Woo! Let's do this. What's up, guys? I'm Dimitri with Canucks, and welcome to our annual roundup of the best cases of 2015. I'm super excited to bring you this video because we reviewed 25 cases in total in 2015. I'm surprised that my reference system is still working. Everything is functional despite being taken out of a case and build and being inside a single case for 25 times individually throughout the year. And check this out, I bought this thermal paste exactly a year ago and I'm still using it. There's still thermal paste in there left. I have no idea how that's possible. And in this countdown to the chassis of the year, we're gonna have 6 categories to play around with, in which we're gonna have a winner and a few runner-ups, or your honorable mentions that should also be considered. So without any further ado, the categories are: the best mini-ITX case, the best budget enclosure, the best "this is my first time building a computer, so which one should I buy" type of case, the WTF what were they thinking type of case, the most beautiful enclosure of the year, and finally we'll finish off with the case of the year. Now, the way we compile this list is only include cases that were both released and reviewed by us in 2015 to keep things fair, and you can check out our 2013 and 2014 cases of the year with the links below or in the eye. But if you have any other suggestions or options that you think may suit into any of the categories that we'll be mentioning, make sure to go like this on a keyboard. So the first category is ITX, and this one hands down goes to the N case M1 V3. So building inside an M1 was truly an amazing experience. From the first time you easily pop open those aluminum panels and realize how freaking light the frame is, but OMG how solid it is too. Everything about this tiny beautiful box screams quality, from the refined aluminum edges to the way all the exterior panels are toolless. But when you make your way onto the inside, get ready for a tiny world of space optimizations thanks to continuous revisions by N case. We have a variety of storage options that don't compromise on hardware compatibility. This really awesome side bracket for installation of in either an extra bracket with additional storage while leaving that one extra fan spot near it open, or utilize the entire bracket for a 240mm radiator. You can mount a full-sized ATX power supply in here and still have room for a 12.5-inch GPU, all without obstructing the CPU area, which is fantastic. So if you want an all-encompassing compact ITX enclosure, this is our winner of 2015. Our runner-up ITX case includes the Fractal Design Node 202 for a lovely and simple exterior with flexible orientation. And what they did well here is the structural separation between the exterior panels and the main interior frame, so you can assemble outside of the case sort of without any hassle. It supports 12-inch GPUs with awesome ventilation everywhere, and if you can deal with the totally clunky drive installation for the 2.5-inch drives, you'll be fine. But to complement this runner-up is our RVZO2 from Silverstone. Now, it offers a similar slim tower form factor but with a totally different physical character. The GPU chamber here is totally separated from the main one as to minimize airflow mix-up, and I love their implementation for drive installation with these very convenient angular 2.5-inch drive brackets. But if you got that enthusiast feeling bubbling up inside, the last runner-up in this category is the Evolve ITX by Fantex. Now, yes, it's slightly larger but offers a no compromise approach for water cooling with this fantastic removable bracket at the top and overall outstanding airflow throughout. And given it's a much wider enclosure compared to what we are used to with ITX cases, it offers the easiest cable management in its class. The next category is the best budget case, and this one easily goes to the Corsair 100R and the Silverstone PS11 at only $50. I've grouped them together because the frame is about 95% identical, and both come in Silent Edition that has some noise dampening foam spread throughout, or with this window that reveals a good portion of the interior. At $50 you have good storage options for both mechanical and solid state drives, and okay build quality and interior to accommodate for budget systems, no problem. Stick stick to an air cooler for the CPU, and thanks to the many cutouts around the motherboard, cable management should be not a problem at all. Just make sure to control how many cables go behind the motherboard tray, because there isn't that much room left. Of course, these are the compromises for 50 bucks, but these are the two of our budget selections for 2015. Next, let's talk about the entry category, the case I would recommend if you're doing your first build and looking for something comfortable. Hands down, the Define S from Fractal Design. They take an open concept to the next level by literally having nothing on the interior. Gone are the hardly ever used drive cages that restrict airflow, and what we have here is a perfect equation for water cooling builds, no modding required. The motherboard tray is slightly recessed to help with cable management. The top fan mounts are offset closer to the side panel for better radiator clearance. And while I'm not a huge fan of the ModuVent system because there is no top dust filter when they are removed, you can pretty much let the front of the case handle all the fan mounts. All of the storage is moved to the back with a clever 3.5-inch drive mount and dual SSD brackets that clean up super well, thanks to the ton of space, and you don't have to worry about any structural support either. Once those side panels are on, you can sit on the damn thing for a job well done. The runner-up for a fantastic first-timers experience is the NZXT Noctis 450, which brings us a very much needed upgrade in the airflow department, as the exterior ventilated panels allow for less restrictive front intake and top exhaust. Plus, for those not really interested in that elegant form factor of the H440, now have this option, as they share an identical interior frame, which I really like. The power supply shroud is awesome, the drive cage is solid, and hardware compatibility is top notch inside the N450. Plus you get a fan hub and gorgeous red underglow accents. And we also gotta give the Cooler Master Master Case 5 a shout out in here too, because they are attempting to take a customization approach to the next level with a very well designed interior space that is like chameleon. It adapts based on your needs, and everything from cable management to excellent airflow options to the modular cages to the best-in-class side panel design that hangs on a hinge and they don't just drop. Plus they brought back the handles, which even just during assembly are super beneficial. If you buy into the Master Case concept, you are almost guaranteed for a future-proof investment. The next category is fun, the WTF what were they thinking, and this one easily goes to the Antec S10. Now don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful enclosure with quality tempered glass side panels with a unique toolless magnetic mount, but that's about it. Because it's 500 bucks, this is the case I was hoping that would revive Antec with that competitive edge. But absolutely nothing new was introduced on the interior layout, and they've actually broke some things and made things worse, like having no clearance for a top-mounted radiator because the bracket is centered and far too back, and cables are also on the way. Sure, the front chamber is cooled separately, but cable management becomes a nightmare, especially because of that one entrance point at the bottom. We have a Molex fan hub. Are you serious for a $500 case? And it seems that unless you're using an mini-ITX motherboard, then Antec is not really worth it, because interior cutouts for cable management around the motherboard tray will definitely test your patience. There's just not enough of them, and they're also really far away from where they need to be. Did they even build in this case? I'm confused. This may be the worst building experience of 2015 for me, and even if you throw out the price out of the window. Switching gears a little bit, let's talk about something that we did enjoy working in. The most beautiful chassis of the year goes to the Li PC08. This is the case where the tempered glass side panels are not the only thing to talk about. Li has always had fantastic aluminum build, and they're unique and less conventional layouts are kind of fun to experiment with. This dual chamber design allows the main portion of the case to remain very clean and exposed, so if you've been dreaming of having this multi-side showcase PC, this is it. And the rear side panel is solid to hide anything you've not fully cleaned up, plus the case has this awesome lighting system built in that lets you position these LEDs anywhere you want and adjust the hue with the 3 knobs at the back. My favorite part with this PC case are the added reflections in a darker environment that would make your workplace absolutely beautiful, especially if you light up the insides in all the right places. The Li PC08 may not be for everyone, but it sure is beautiful. And now we've come to the last category, the moment we've been waiting for, the Case of the Year award. goes to the Evolve ATX by Fantex. Now, I think this case offers a very good balance between build, functionality, and internal customization. Starting with the build, on the exterior, we have these fantastic 3mm aluminum panels, complemented by internal solid frame. I love the elegant character and the sandblasted surface too. Both side panels are toolless and swivel to open, but it's really when we get onto the inside that really highlight a functional layout for today's needs, like a slide out top bracket for easier radiator or fan installation outside of the case that accommodates for wide and thick radiators without interfering with the motherboard. It is an open layout, so you get the best possible front airflow, but these spots can also be populated with these independent brackets and be moved in any of the 5 slots for best compatibility with your setup. There is an additional side SSD mount at the front and 2 more at the back, with 2 dedicated 3.5-inch drive caddies, which isn't a lot, but that's why those optional brackets exist. Achieving organization with cables is super simple. There's a PWM fan hub included, chromated cutouts everywhere, cable ties in all the right places, and an interesting shape for the side window that reveals all the important goodies. All while maintaining a fairly small footprint without any hardware or cooling limitations. And really the only factor to keep in mind is the price at $179, which is steep, but it's a really good reflection on the build, the flexibility you get with mounting, and awesome water cooling support, and thus deserves our Case of the Year nomination. Well, that concludes the Case Awards for 2015. I really hope you enjoyed. Woo! It was a fantastic year. I'm looking forward to 2016, seeing what type of minimization of the frames we can achieve further on and what type of efficiency we can get with space optimizations. But if you have any suggestions on any of the cases or options that we've picked per category, make sure to let us know with the comment below. I'm Dimitri with Hardware Canucks. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and happy holidays. So it was a good year. Okay, so it was a good year. I'm looking forward to seeing what 2016 has job with minimalism frame, putting larger emphasis on modular aspect of a case. Some of the year one compiled a list of the best cases of this year. We've reviewed 25 cases. I'm surprised by my reference and my thermal paste that I bought a year ago still.